Hello everybody, Pear is back with another video. This is crazy, I'm putting out so many videos lately. Anyways, I'm here playing a game called Sin of Omission. I saw someone named Voya, I believe, playing this on her channel, and I clicked on it. I watched like the first video and I went, this game looks cool, and Voya seems like a really nice person, so I'm gonna link her down below, obviously. I didn't watch the full thing. I'm obviously gonna go watch it all after and like see her honest reaction, but if you want to see mine, then well, I guess it doesn't matter which ones you watch first, but I would definitely recommend checking out her as well. So yeah, her thing is going to be down in the description below, and I guess we're going to get ready for this. Oh, a little bit beforehand about why I chose this game, other than just watching Way Up play it. I actually got accepted into a university for psychology. Psychology has always been like really interesting to me, and so I'm really like curious about like not sins, but like omissions and like just the feeling of like groupthink and all that stuff. So I am actually going to school to study types of stuff like this. So here we go. How do you start? Oh, I the witness. In broad daylight, in the middle of the street, the witness saw the culprit dragging the victim's body. He stood staring, paralyzed, until the culprit realized his presence and returned his gaze. Instinctively, he looked away, and continued on his way as if he hadn't seen anything, not looking back. He got home and locked the door. Only then did he ask himself whether the victim was dead or just unconscious. He thought he should have helped. At the very least, he should have called the police. He realized that might be too late. If something had happened that he could have prevented by calling earlier, he'd be to blame for it. It wasn't fair. He kept telling himself that he had nothing to do with it, that he had done nothing wrong. If he had walked by 2 minutes earlier or 2 minutes later, nothing would have happened. Nothing would have changed. He began to doubt. He was no longer sure of what he had seen. He could have misread the situation. Maybe he was imagining things. If he didn't make the call, if he didn't tell anyone, it didn't need to be real. If he did nothing, everything would stay the same. Everything would be fine. He tried to let the time pass, to forget about it, but every little sound made him shiver and remember the cold eyes of the culprit. A loud, creaking noise startled him. It was coming from inside the house. He looked around, praying it was nothing. All seemed to be in order until he caught a glimpse of a silhouette. There was something at the end of the corridor, standing there, motionless. He couldn't see its face, but he knew it was looking at him.
The culprit left the victim on the floor, leaning against the armchair on which he flopped right after. It happened again. He wasn't sure why. He couldn't stay long. He had a lot of work to do. But he was exhausted. He didn't think it was worth it. He could just stay there and wait for what would inevitably happen. The witness had seen him, and the police would soon find him. He could confess and ask for forgiveness, and maybe face the consequences, and change. He wasn't expecting a place in heaven, but he could live his remaining days a little more peacefully. But the worst part is the shame. He'd be the culprit in everyone's eyes. He would be left on his own, and on his own he wouldn't be able to change. Without help, he could not become a better man. What was done was done. He couldn't change it. It might be the last time. A turning point. He decided if he got away with this one, he could use his freedom to make amends. But he had to finish what he started, but his body was barely responding. He needed rest. He fell asleep. He dreamt he was by the sea, listening to the waves. Nothing was happening. It was just him, immersed in a stillness that he imagined could only be felt in death. It wouldn't be his case. He knew that. He opened his eyes slowly, dazed. Reality rushed back to him. He didn't know how much time had passed. He had to hurry. He rose to his feet, his joints creaking as he did. The first thing to do was to take care of the victim. He clearly remembered leaving the victim against the armchair, and yet there was nothing there. For a moment, he was puzzled, then terrified. Then he felt death approaching and the gates of hell opening for him.
Okay, so far, what I'm seeing in this is that is definitely could be like a metaphor for mental illness, I fear. Because witness could be someone like looking at someone who is like mentally ill and is like showing the signs that they need help from other people. And then the culprit could also be, this is before watching the victim, but the culprit could also like symbolize the victim as well. The culprit and the victim could be the same person, and the culprit's like deteriorating their own body and they got caught doing something that was bad for their health, and now they're paralyzed. And they're like worried that they're getting in trouble, and they're worried that they're going to be sent away somewhere, or that like something's going to be stopped and that everyone will leave them because they're going to see how like ill they are and that they need like help to become a better person. That's just my like take on this right now, but this is only 3. The victim. Here we go.
From across the hallway, the victim stared at the witness. He was paralyzed, trembling like a frightened rat. You again, he said. They had lived many lives. He had lived many deaths. The story was always the same. I'm tired of being the victim. I couldn't take it anymore, so I broke some rules this time. I don't know what will happen now. Probably nothing. I guess everything will stay the same, just like you wanted. You keep telling yourself that it's not your fault if you keep making excuses. You don't even understand what's going on. You may be right. You may not be a bad person, but don't think for a second that you are any good. To do no wrong isn't to do right. You'll figure that out someday. If nothing changes, things will go on like they always do. One day, I'll be someone you know, someone you love. When that day comes, that sad, pathetic, craven heart of yours will once again prevent you from doing anything to stop it. How sad. It is very sad. I'm tired of being the victim. You should be tired of being the witness.
Oh my god. Oh my god, okay. Wait, that was actually really good. It's like really short, and I wouldn't call it a game necessarily. More of like a visual novel slash story. But oh my god, that was so good. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Oh my god. And then I'm sure there are some people who are watching this who are like, that's so basic, like everyone knows this. You're just like hyping up like an old saying and what everyone knows. Okay, there's a difference between knowing something and like knowing something. You can repeat to yourself that nothing will happen if you don't change it. But it takes like a lot to actually realize that. And the victim coming back and like talking to the witness, that was so good. I do think that this could be a metaphor for mental illness, because the witness coming back and being like, this could be someone you love one day and you're just ignoring it. You're just letting it happen. Like, you're not doing anything to stop it. That was so good. Of course, not everything has to be a metaphor, but that is what I'm going to take it as personally, because of like, I know some people who have struggled with mental health, and there have been times where I have looked the other way and thought that I shouldn't involve myself with that. And there have been times where I have helped them. And both of these situations have either led to them leaving me, or led to them like becoming closer to me. And sometimes I have left them because of their own mental health, and I regret it every single day. And I don't know, I'm just someone who like, okay, it's gonna be very personal here, but I do have family members who have like struggled with mental illness to the point of where they like leave this world. I don't really want to say like the word for it, but where they have chose to leave the world. And so like, I have been a witness, and I have been like very fed with guilt because of it. There are so many times where I wish I could go back and do things, but I do like what the like victim had to say about, you do this over and over again. When will be the time that you do it? You keep doing this to yourself. You keep ignoring it. And I think that that really shows that like everyone has to go and do something about this. It can't be something that you turn a blind eye to. Together we are all genuinely humans, and we should all like try and help each other out here because it's everyone's first time living anyways, right? So I do think that this game was really good. Sin of Omission. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be thinking about this for a while, even though it's like a short 5-minute play. So yeah, I'll link Voya down below. I need to go take a walk. I need to go take some water. I need to think about some things more. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, comment, turn that notification bell on, subscribe, all that stuff, and go check out Voya. Okay, bye guys.